good news here for Crystal Springs, Zephyr Hills, and Dade City. Also, if you have some family or loved ones coming in from Polk County up 98, heading up to Dade City, tell them to hold off, let the storm pass, and then once it passes and moves into Sumter and Lake counties, and we give you the all clear, then you're good to go as far as any kind of a rotation or a tornadic supercell moving on shore or moving through the Pasco County area. Again, I am not expecting to see a significant tornado out of this, if there is even one working its way through the area now. Just want to do one quick check over here to see what the National Weather Service is saying. We've got about another 15 minutes here of this cell, and it looks like I-4 and 50th Street in Tampa. Nothing there. Pasco, yep. So they're saying what I'm saying and what Nadine has been also talking about too, how this cell, it looked a lot better if you were a tornado. It looked a lot better a few minutes ago with that rotation, but now it's that tighter spin, that area where the red and green colors I was talking about a second ago were coming together. This is really broadening out now. To get a tornado produced from a thunderstorm, the winds have to come together. So when you see them separating or fanning out, then clearly you're not going to get a tornado to be rapidly produced. And look at the difference. Let me again take the warning off here. And when the warning was issued, what it looked like with the green and red colors coming through Pebble Creek, very close to each other. And then watch what happens now as we go to the now scan. Green gone, and that red is becoming a little more widespread, more so of a straight line wind risk with these winds and more of a broader area moving to the east-northeast at about 25 miles per hour. And some of the winds our radar is detecting could be as high as about 45 to 50 miles per hour. We'll see what this scan shows there. 46 miles per hour. The winds coming into Crystal Springs right now and just to the south of Zephyr Hills, very, very low. So again, I do feel a little bit better than what we did when we came on here covering this warning after we were covering the potential water spout that was coming on shore. While the warning still is there, it does look like this system has not wrapped up, and they may have actually canceled it because it is not showing up on my warning map anymore. So let me see if they have dropped the warning here. And yes, cancellation of the warning is being drafted, so they've dropped it. Well, I'm here all night, guys. I'm not going to leave. I don't want you in northern Polk County or eastern Pasco County to think, that's it, we're not getting coverage anymore. I will cover it if it's necessary, so I'm here with Nadine all night. We're going to keep you posted on this. If this does get another warning, we'll be right back on here at ABC Action News to keep you posted. Stay safe,
guys.
Are they going to let it drop? Either way, we're going to be on top of it with you. I'm going to watch it as we go through the next 10 minutes or so to see if they let this warning end. And if they do, we'll get you right back to programming. If they extend it out a little further, it looks like they just canceled it. So, oh, actually, that was the previous warning. My apologies on that one. So, yeah, hang out for a few more minutes, guys. We're going to watch this one because, again, unfortunately, it does look like it's kind of ticked up in intensity a little bit. Again, darker red next to bright pink. You have air going in two different directions. The air in pink is moving south to north. The air in darker red is moving north to south. You get those two right next to each other. Clearly, you've got something spinning, and at any point, that could drop a tornado. We had some funnel clouds also in Pasco and Citrus County. Earlier today, Hernando County had a couple of funnel clouds reported there. Thankfully, that did not make it to the ground. But the atmosphere, it's available for that to be the case. So these cells, as they continue to move, hopefully into a less favorable environment than what we've been seeing closer to the coast as we're losing, again, daytime heating. Cold front has weakened considerably from that strong line of thunderstorms it was producing just offshore. Hopefully we'll wrap up this tornado risk here as we go into the next couple of hours, next hour or so. That would be great. You could clearly see the cell is all the way to the eastern edge now of this tornado warning. So if you're on 98, if you're in northwestern sections here of Polk County and you're to the west of 98, even though it's still an active tornado warning, you're fine. You're safe here. The threat has moved well past 98. If you're along 98, you're safe. I'm not worried about it for you anymore. It's those of you that are between 98 and 33 and south of Dean Still Road. This is the area that we have to watch to see if there is something that could potentially be rolling through. Moore Road right now, again, JEH Road, Dean Still Road. These are the areas that rotation is basically sitting over top of right now. There's another scan. This is a new scan, still looking at that bright pink in a very localized area. If this was more on the order of straight line winds, then you would see that bright pink extending through most of the storm or the entirety of the storm. If it's in a very small and confined area, that's an opportunity for spin to continue to develop into a tornado. So it's just now moving outside of the tornado warning. But again, until the warning gets dropped here within about 30 seconds to see if the National Weather Service is going to extend it. They may issue a severe thunderstorm warning for that 70-mile-per-hour wind potential. If it's a severe thunderstorm warning, we'll post those on social media for you. If it's another tornado warning, we'll hang out here for just a few more minutes and make sure that we're not seeing anything that is alarming. Still no debris showing up in our debris tracker. There's plenty of trees out here in this area that if there was a tornado in progress, we would be seeing that debris showing up. So I do feel comfortable there. And there you go. Tornado warning has been extended because, again, that very small area of those 70-plus-mile-per-hour winds, that's why they've extended this warning now a bit farther east. So let me read the very latest from them. While I do that, Nadine, if you could take a peek at any of those numbers.
Yeah, I'm looking at the power outages throughout the area. Polk County is still at 0%. So I know that the area that we're looking at is in northern Polk County. I want to say it's kind of rural, but I know there's been so much development in this area.
Right.
So I really can't say for sure at this point. And what we've noticed about these power outages is that they trickle in a little bit later. And so if you're seeing that really tight rotation now, give it a couple of minutes. I'm just keeping an eye on it. We're tracking something happening over in the Nonasassa, and within like 10-15 minutes we saw 1,300 people without power, and that just showed something strong was happening in that area. I'm not quite seeing that right now in Polk County.
Okay.
We're seeing the most power outages across the area in Pinellas, some in southern Hillsborough, some in Tampa. That's just from obviously the storms we've been tracking all day.
Okay, so this is the velocity mode, this is the wind mode. We take the rain out and we look at what direction the rain is moving within the cell. And again, in those bright pink areas, it's moving more to the northeast. In the darker red, it's moving to the southwest. You put the two next to each other, that is what we call a tornado couplet or a potential tornado. Obviously, it's still aloft at this point because we haven't had any reports that it's touched down, but at any point, it could. It can happen very quickly and without any warning. So with that warning being extended out here until 8:30, we want to keep you abreast of what's going on here if you are north of I-4. The good news, again, it's pretty rural in these spots. We've avoided, at least in Polk County, the highly populated I-4 corridor with this potential tornadic cell, and it is moving now north of Polk City too. So if you're in Polk City, you're fine. This warning is not for you. It is going to stay to your north. And clearly, again, with the warning Let me throw that back up here. You can see that Polk City is well to the north, to the south of this warning. It does go up to the Lake County border. So again, if you're on Moore Road over to 33 all the way up to Lake County, this is where we want you to continue to watch this cell. It is a very strong looking cell at this point. It's not weakening like we were hoping it would. I'm still not seeing any debris showing up, but it is one of the stronger cell signatures that we've had on radar today when it concerns these tornado warnings. The National Weather Service agreeing, and that's why they continued that warning as well. I want to check this cell too. This one's starting to look a little iffy down here in on the Polk and Hillsborough County line. I'll watch it. Couple of areas that are maybe a little concerning, but nothing that's problematic now. But when you see that little appendage side, like we talked about before, that southwest flank of the storm, if it starts to kind of push more south, that's clearly rotation within the cell beginning, and that rotation could eventually lead to a funnel cloud and a tornado. So those of you along 60 here, well east of Valrico, well south of Plant City, this is Willow Oak, Medulla, Highland City. This could make it to the Polk Parkway too. I'll watch this one because if it starts to intensify like we're seeing with the one to the north, then we may have an issue for Lakeland coming up as well here in the next 10 to 15 minutes. But the only game in town right now is this thunderstorm here that is now well east of 98, and it's crossed Moore Road. So if you live along Moore Road, that's good news for you guys, but it's basically right along Dean still and Moore where that comes together. So this is where we're going to have to look for the potential rotation in this cell. We've got some pretty strong winds that continue to show up within it. So at a minimum, we're looking at winds that could be as high as 70 miles per hour. For those of you that live along Dean Still Road in these bright white colors, 68 miles per hour. We're looking at another cell here that has 68. So again, 68 to 70 mile per hour winds with this potential tornadic cell. Along Dean Still Road, it is some of these roads here. We've got Angus, Hereford, Roundup, and Melody. And then getting over to 33. Once you get over there, if you're now the Comby Drive area, Joe String Ranch, Buck Hill Road, all these locations here along 33. If that road sounds familiar, or if that is your road, you know the drill. We talked about it for hours today because these tornado warnings just will not stop. Those are areas that you need to get into the lowest level of your home. Put as many walls between you and the outside winds as possible. That way, if there is any flying debris, you're protected by that. And a couple of other towns that are in this area that I definitely want to let you know about. Eva, it looks like it's going to stay to the south and east of Eva. You'll get some heavy rain in these areas too, but it looks like overall, mainly along Dean Still Road and then east over to 33. This is where we're going to be watching this move through Rock Ridge. Barry, these are a couple of other smaller towns that are within that tornado warning. If that's your town, heads up. We still potentially are looking at something that is trying to form into a tornadic supercell. It's already rotating. It's got the spin there. We're just awaiting to see if it actually makes it down to the ground and if it touches down. And if it does, of course, our radar will start to pick up some debris. It will no longer be a radar indicated rotation. It would be a radar confirmed tornado.
Looks pretty rural out there. I was trying to see if there's like a lot of new development.
Yeah. So this is definitely a pretty rural part here of Polk County. Thankfully, again, it avoided the I-4 corridor where it is a lot more busy out there with these areas here in Polk County that have just blown up over the last couple of years. I think it's over 700,000 people are now in Polk County, and most of them along and south of I-4. So this cell down south, still not showing anything that is too problematic at this time for those of you in and around Medulla. But the one to the north, that is the only one that is currently giving us a tornado warning right now. I'm not seeing any debris indications at this point. And again, with it moving into the very rural areas here of northern Polk County, we'll go ahead and get you back to programming. I'm going to stay on top of it, though. And if I see anything that is concerning or I start to see some debris showing up, I'll definitely come back on here on ABC Action News and let you know. But again, if you live on Dean Still Road over to 33, these are the areas that we're seeing possible rotation coming through. And if there is any indications that we do have any damage or a tornado is in progress, I'll be right back here on ABC Action News.